Well, it started off as what we do in the news media, which we just hop on something and we just try to turn it into whatever we can turn it into. We're not so interested in facts. We're just interested in emotions. So it turns this big deal, and then there's a bunch of marches and all that kind of stuff. And then as the dust settles and the truth starts to come out, then the actual story starts to emerge. And it looks like a tragic situation, but it's nowhere near what it was originally reported,
what it was
right?
originally reported was ridiculous, and I'm not so sure that the media didn't drive this into a prosecution. I don't think this case, if it had no media attention,
right?
Because remember how long it was before he was even filed on in this case.
Right. So if the media didn't go bananas on this, it's just one more black kid dead who was wrong place, wrong time, and possibly being aggressive with somebody and possibly the wrong person.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, it's a tragedy for everybody. I mean, obviously the parents and the family of Trayvon Martin, it's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. And Zimmerman, if what he says is true, and you take a look at some of those pictures where it looks like the back of his head was bleeding and he had a broken nose and everything else, and the idea that now they're fighting over experts to tell you whose voice was screaming, from 100 yards away, to me that's...
Zimmerman, I mean, in a nutshell, he's in this neighborhood. He's in his neighborhood watch or whatever. Maybe the neighborhood, there'd been some break-ins or something. Right. He sees this kid. He profiles this kid. The reason, I hope everyone's sitting down, young black males commit a disproportionate amount of crime. So thus, when they walk into the neighborhood, they get profiled because, I've said it many times, we work sort of big to small. You see a female... And you go, all right, you start with elderly female, and you go, And then you see them doing some business, walking a dog or something like that, and you go, elderly female walking dog, I'll get back to peeing in my shrub. And then you see...
You stop peeing to look at her?
I turn my shoulder if I hear the dog snapping. But the way we're geared is, and believe me, there's white guys that will jump past black guys if they look a certain way or a certain size or a certain age or whatever it is. Elderly black guy's going to go down lower on the list than younger white guy with a shaved head, just depending on what you're wearing, how you look, what your vibe is.
You can also profile Zimmerman in this case, too, because, and I've never met him. I mean, or talked to him, but I know Mark, his lawyer. This guy fits a type from afar, and I could be completely wrong, but, kind of wannabe neighborhood watch. I'm anxious to out patrol. You know the guy.
Oh, yeah, no, he type, is
right? A vigilante?
Not quite. More of the kind of baby Huey packing heat.
There is a thing with me. I do have this feeling that if someone gives you pepper spray, you're going to want to use it.
Right.
If someone gives you a gun, you're going to want to use it. If someone gives you a taser, you're going to want to use it, And so he's probably has a little Napoleon complex, walking around, maybe got picked on a little in high school, never again. He's a little eager for the fray.
Right.
And you have this horrible mixture of this guy with this gun, with this chip on his shoulder, walking around, mixed with this stereotype.
The stereotype who's, and one of the people, I think, it was reported also, and I love speculating about this when you're not in the courtroom, but one of the women who is on the jury said, what was this kid doing out buying candy at that time of night anyway, buying Skittles?
Right. Well, but the news had to report Zimmerman as a white guy instead of a Hispanic guy, and then it turned into white and Hispanic. Like the news goes, look, we got to turn this into a white guy shooting a black guy in the back for no reason because he had Skittles. So let's just go ahead and do that, and then later on we'll let the facts float up to the surface.
Yeah, and thank goodness it all starts right as sweeps are coming in the summer.
Right.
You notice all of these cases usually. Jodi Arias starts to pick up heat so that Hysterical Ladies Network can get ratings right into May, and then this thing into the summer. It's always kind of the summer programming. It's free. You don't have to. It's better than scripted TV. You don't have to pay for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Is there something strategic about his weight gain, or do you think that's just what he does when he's under stress?
Electronic monitoring.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
out.
He's gained like I don't know, like
Well, he
100
like
pounds or
100
something.
He gained, he lost,
Wait, what does that mean?
He's a regular Liz Taylor.
Electronic monitoring, you wear the little
No, I know, but why is that? Why you gained weight?
because you can't
can't-
you can't leave the
Can't go leave your house.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
It's kind of like a married guy's life. You know, you go to
Yeah.
work, you go home. You go to work, you go home.
He's got
Yeah.
a secretary butt.
But you get to work out of dragging the old ball and chain.
So if you were to say, though, a jury of 6 women versus a jury of 6 men, or a jury of women and men, what are women more inclined to
If
do?
I were picking this jury, I can't think of any better jury composition other than 6 white women. Because, first of all, presumably women are a little bit more scared, generally, as the stereotype is, of crime. So they understand it, and understandably so, because, they get disproportionately victimized. White, in this case, what everybody has to understand, in this case, whether you like it or not, is a race case. It's been made into a race case. And you have to, prosecution's got to get a clean sweep. They got to win it all. They can't, 4-2 doesn't do it for them.
How much does the intimidation factor play in? Meaning, if you find this guy innocent, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are going to be tweeting out your address.
Normally, if you
Or
were
Spike
in,
Lee. What a
if you
fucking
were
idiot.
in an area demographically where that was a real problem, I'd say yes. But this is an area that, a very conservative area of Florida where this case is being tried. I mean, the wind at the back might be more for Zimmerman than it is for the family of Trayvon Martin.